coverage of the GDP. I'm joined by Val and Mauricio. How are you guys doing today?
Hi,
Hi,
Dave. Hi,
Dale.
everyone. Everything's fine in here.
Yeah, everything
Okay,
is
so
fine
we're
here
going to
too.
react to a reaction. Adam Button the other day, Val, said that the market's looking for a negative number. He thinks that we might have a small upside surprise of a small positive number, maybe up 0.5. He thinks that if we get a number like that, it'll be enough to lift the dollar, or is Greece overshadowing GDP in a big way today?
I do believe that nothing can overshadow Greece. I guess the market is pretty worried about Greece situation, and you see it's barely reacting to headlines. Uh, Besides that, weekend news saying that we may have had it in there. Unfortunately, we didn't. The deadline continues to be 30 when we have the latest date to pay the IMF. And in the meantime, I do believe that the GDP may gather more attention today in the market. And yeah, we started with a good number being revisited down to minus 0.7. Now market expectations are of minus 0.2. I really hope we had a small positive number, but I don't believe that will be enough. Uh, it can give the greenback a bit of a intraday boost, but not enough to support long run in the greenback. Yesterday we had durable goods orders, right? And they were not as pretty, as good as we wanted. We had a strong upward momentum in stocks all over the world, and nevertheless, Wall Street closed barely in the green because the US is really, really, really
I'm
positive.
having some issues with the audio from you, Val, where you're breaking up a little bit. Have you noticed that, Mauricio?
I know what it is. I know what it is. I have my air conditioner on. I have just turned it off. Now
Okay.
Yeah,
I
now it's fine.
I thought it was winter there anyway.
It's winter. It's in heat. It's in heat.
That's right, you're winter. Yeah.
Winter.
You
Sorry.
know, I wanted to ask you, Val, were you surprised by the strength in U.S. dollar yen? Because when we were together last Thursday, you had a negative bias. Has this rally changed your view at all, or do you think there's a shorting opportunity in U.S. dollar yen setting up here?
Yeah, I was not expecting this advance up to 124, but I'm still not completely sure the pair may continue rallying, particularly if we have a bad number today. Nevertheless, 2240 area has broke pretty strong this June, so I guess
that's a line in the sand that I see that was a breakout. That's how the bulls come up with 128 as a possibility, but that possibility would be aborted if we negate the breakout at 122.
yeah,
So,
that's pretty much what I'm seeing here.
yeah.
And this market reaction will likely depend on how the GDP reading came, right? But I was watching in the same chart that the pair has been unable to sustain advances above 24, right? It's like in between 24 and 24.50. We have a strong selling interest, right? So we need to beat them to talk about an upward continuation.
You think this was enough of a correction in the pound, or held the 57 range? You know, we pulled back a couple hundred pips or so. Still acting better than the euro. Is it possible that that was enough in the pound?
I'm not sure. I'm still waiting for a test of 56.50, 56 area. It's the 38.2% retracement of the latest run, the last 2 weeks run. So I believe it's still likely, mostly because the pair is now unable to recover above 58, right? We tried earlier and we are still shy of bullish signal in 4 hours or in the 1 hour charts. So my take is that we may see the corrective movement extend down to 56.50.
So is that would that be, in your view, the correction to buy in the pound after the big run that we had? That's a pullback point to So you're basically looking for dollar strength to fade and dollars and pound weakness to fade. What's that, about another 100 pips lower from where we are?
Yeah, yes, even a bit.
120.
Yeah, not much more than that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that view.
You're welcome. I do believe that the pound will continue rallying. I do believe it's the strongest currency we have these days. So that will be a buy on this for me for now.
Yeah, I'm laying for the Canada here, Val. Between U.S. dollar yen and U.S. dollar CAD, we just have one high, perhaps one lower high in the yen, where the Canadian top several months ago continues to put in lower highs, and I'm looking for shorts possibly up around that 124.5 level, 24.60, and I'll probably have my stop above the high that we made. I believe that was on the NFP. But if you look at the daily on Canada, comparing it to the yen, it has a much weaker structure, and thinking that we could have a move back under that 119 level. So looking for reasons to get short USD CAD.
Yeah, I was following this week movements, particularly because of the volatility we have in oil, right? Despite the commodity is trading in a pretty tight range, right? We are hovering in between 59 and 62, almost for all of June. Right?
Almost looks like it wants to break out.
Yeah, it seems like we have the 200 simple moving average in the daily today. So it seems like it wants, but it's able to.
That would give you $70 oil, possibly.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I don't know. We have the crude stockpiles report today, right? So if that decrease, and maybe we can have a boost in there, break through that moving average, and that will be your US CAD short.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think about Greece? I'm reading my Twitter feed, and the fact is that since that Greece has now rejected the counter proposal from creditors. Creditors earlier today rejected the proposal given by Greece over the weekend and sent a new one directed towards Greece, and Greece is now rejecting that direction. So we're at square one in here.
Yeah, it's starting to seem like an old TV show they had in the U.S. when I was younger. Let's make a deal, and you make a deal.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I still can't believe this is going on.
Well, the guy was elected on anti-austerity, so
Yeah.
I think it's pretty difficult for him to accept austerity to stay in the euro. Those are the people that put him in the elected him to power. I think most of them want out of the euro. So why is it a surprise when the man in charge, his whole constituency is anti-euro because of how difficult living conditions have been? Although there's structural problems, let's face it, the people that put him in office would like to have the drachma back, possibly. They yearn towards the old days of the drachma, retiring at 55 and not having to pay taxes, and let's face it, was a populist movement. Who wants austerity?
No one.
I've had austerity in my life.
But I don't see how they can keep on living without doing something. I understand they want meaning austerity measures easing, but at what cost are they repeating the deals? I'm sure. You have to be in their shoes to pretty fully understand what's going on.
I have been. Haven't you ever had any hard times in your life where you
May-
would consider them austere? And you didn't. Who enjoys having little and subsisting? But most people do something about it if they're not happy about it. Different expectations about a nanny state taking care of you. It's beginning to be like that here in the U.S. as well. They're starting
Yeah,
to call the U.S. a nanny state. So nanny's gonna start paying me back what I put into Social Security. I'm taking it early while it's still around. So thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Granny.
Yeah, well, I think it's economic war. Yeah, it's two different point of view about economics. It's
Yeah,
austerity
capitalism and
yeah.
socialism. Yeah,
But more than that, it's like the German, French,
yeah,
Belgium
yeah.
economic idea and the rest of the world. The ECB had like a 3 or 4 years delay comparing what the Fed did before. So anyway,
Well,
we have
Martin Armstrong warned the Europeans that they had to consolidate their debt if they wanted to have a unified currency.
yeah,
So
that's right.
yeah,
But
they
you
didn't
know,
listen to Martin.
but you know that the Europeans has had the ability to destroy the continent in twice or three times before. So this
Yeah,
time they did a
Germany
big
won the war this time without firing a shot.
yeah, change. Well,
Aren't they the dominant?
I'm not saying that, but yeah, the war is changing, and now the
It's
conflict
a
is not with
financial
guns;
war.
it's with just with money. Okay, we have a question here. Any opinion on the strong Aussie dollar, Australian dollar against dollar? What do you think, Bar?
yeah. I was about to say that I'm a bit confused with what's going on in the Aussie. It's not actually strong, but it's not actually weakening, right? So it's a pretty unclear picture for me in here. I do believe that the pair is in a consolidated stage, and I do expect it to resume its slide, but I want to see a break at least below this low in 76.40 to confirm such bearish movement. We had a pretty bad news coming from Australia earlier this week, and that opened doors for another rate cut in Australia. Not sure if it will happen. The market is not thinking much about it yet. But if we do have another rate cut or in the upcoming meetings, the Governor Stevens tiptoes a cat, then maybe the Aussie will resume its decline. However, it has been a long bearish run in here, right? It's like the euro, right? I do believe that we're more in consolidated stage and looking for a trigger to either resume that long-term trend or revert it finally. But I don't see it already bullish, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, if you want to be long, you have to drop a stop under the low that we had a couple of
So,
days ago. I look at gold and I'm not constructive, but you showed that daily chart in
yeah,
the Aussie and it looks somewhat constructive. We pulled back higher low. We diverged at the bottom.
yeah,
Of course, you want price confirmation, but if you want to be long, you get out of the way there because I guarantee you there's at least one stop under the low of the move. We had a nice graveyard save last week on the Fed on the dovish statement, and we're right back to what happened after that statement. So, yeah, I agree with you. It's holding up pretty well. It's my view in gold that makes me think there's one more washout low in Aussie
yes,
um, because I think gold's still, that rally we had last week, it's still possibly destined for that 1140 lower,
yeah,
1140 level or lower.
yeah. The rally has been erased. I was looking at the weekly chart,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It takes 2 weeks. It took, sorry, two
yeah,
weeks to rise and one day to give it
right.
all
Yeah,
back.
2 days. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. So, I mean, that looks like that could set up one more washout low, and I correlate Aussie with the gold. So, it keeps me cautious from buying Aussie. Aussie looks better than the gold, though.
Yeah, gold does not look any good. Pound is sliding.
I'd like to see where Aussie is if gold tests that weekly support and takes it out at 1140. If Aussie is still not making new lows, then you have a real, you have a nice market tell of relative strength.
Yeah.
Perhaps 76. You will see that 76, that is yearly low.
Yeah, there's a few stops under 76.
Yeah.
Clean out all the bulls that have been trying to bottom pick it for the last 2 months.
ETM stocks are anticipating a weak read.
Yeah, with it down. S&P's down 5 going into the number.
Yeah.
I thought we still might trade 2140 in the S&Ps. I think this would be the day if it's going to do it. It better get going to do it. Back under 2080, there's problems in the S&P. That's my 2-week off number. A lot of people are saying that we still need a blow off in the Dow S&Ps.
Yeah, well, stocks, as I was saying, are not performing nicely since this data is not encouraging them.
I also wanted to see where U.S. dollar yen was if the S&Ps blow off to that 2140 level, because that should be a risk-on trade, and U.S. dollar yen could rally on that. So, but something to keep in mind. We are now in summer. Happy summer to you, Val and Mauricio. Let's have a great summer together. And at times, W.D. Gant said that whatever direction markets are going into the change of seasons, he believed time was more important than price, and said to be alert for reversals during the solstice. And what's the other one called? We have a summer solstice, winter solstice, and an equinox. So the 2 equinoxes and the 2 solstices. So.
Well, as far as I remember, yesterday was the longest night in Europe.
Okay, yeah,
Longest night of the year, yeah.
Okay, so that was.
No, the shortest night.
Yeah, that's in December or January, the shortest day.
Yeah, yesterday was the shorter night. It was San Juan in Spain.
Yeah, it's not as good for vampires. They don't have as much time to work the streets at night, but
they move also here because.
But it depends on what kind of vampire are you talking about?
The kind that hang out outside of bars at night around midnight, in the midnight hour.
Yeah.
Maybe they're FX brokers. Come and trade with me. You can get rich, and let's trade 1-minute charts.
Okay. So what we have right now, just 10 minutes before it's like the euro dollar at 112. The pound dollar going down.
Yeah, below us.
Just testing the 200 moving average, 200 hours moving average.
Dollar strengthening.
Yeah.
In front of it. Okay.
What is the current level of the dollar index, Dale?
I only have delayed, but it was. Let me look.
Here it is, 95.08.
95.08.
Yeah.
So is that lower or higher? I have sub futures. So.
Read it.
Okay. That looks different than one.
Oops. Yes, the chart is not updated. Sorry. I will close it. And reopen new one later.
Interesting that the pound's giving up more ground than the euro here today. Someone pointed out EG was at, very significant support. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Probably because of short stops below the feeble, like the 58 held. It was the 57 mark, then 56.
so it looks like we could be headed towards your number, Bill.
Yeah, seems so. Depending on how GDP reading came. Sorry.
There is somebody asking about the euro.
Mm.
It is so hard to trade these days.
Yeah, it's hard to trade euro. It's pretty wild. Movements are unclear. The directions also. Well,
I
there
guess
are.
we have a range, it's a range the algos are playing with.
Mm.
Back over 113 would change the picture to positive in the euro for me.
Above 113.
113.
Yeah, well, bearish for me below 1120.
Yeah, 1050, 1070. We're going to 107, 108. Maybe 105. I mean, this whole thing looks corrective. We've knocked on that resistance 4 times now, 3 or 4 times. Turned it back from the 114 area. Yeah. Never closed above it. Through there, you got 117 and then 120. Still a lot of euro bears, and that would certainly take care of them.
Yeah, the long positions in the greenback have been reduced over the latest reports. Yeah, both in euro and yen. So maybe we see another reduction this week, and then it will come back. I don't know.
Alienovich in the LAR, Alienovich said that he thinks that we can get another push in the dollar higher to allow the pound and the euro to reach 50.61 back. And then a reversal.
So that'd be about 155-ish in the pound.
Yeah.
And that's how I get 2460 or so in USD CAD. To sell it.
Yeah.
You are pretty confident in the CAD, right?
Huh?
You are pointing for a shorting opportunities in the CAD.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Alien saying that he's talking about fib retracements. Retracements imply counter to the trend. So these are retracements to sell the dollar, buy the pound, buy the euro. Not, in my view, and I agree with him, time to, although Armand's the other way, he's very bullish a dollar. I'm just thinking that what I see on the Dixie chart is a descending triangle. We have a descending triangle in US dollar yen, a lot of triangles with implications for breakdowns in both of them. US dollar yen, USD CAD, USD yen. Sometimes you'll see patterns repeating themselves in different instruments. It kind of says that, that's a theme of the market. So, topping pattern in the end, breakdown possible.
I was thinking that when we had that announcement of a Greek deal underway earlier this week, the market ran back towards the greenback, right? And leaving aside that the U.S. economy is not doing that well, the fact is that the U.S. has, in its latest meeting, announced at least 2 quarter points rate hikes, right? One probably for this year, the other one can be at the end of the years or earlier in the next. But the fact is that the U.S. is in the tightening path and has just confirmed it in its latest meeting. And in the meantime, Europe is buying 60 billion euros in bonuses on a monthly basis, at least until September 2016. At least, I'm saying, right? Meaning it can keep on buying after that if required. So if we take the Greek drama out of the picture, Greenback has more chances to go higher, right?
The greenback.
Yeah, the greenback has more chances to resume its advance. If I had to buy the greenback, I won't buy it against the pound because, as I was saying, I do believe that the pound is still a strong currency, and the line is the second on the path of fighting, right? But I would expect probably the rest of the currencies to capitulate against dollar strength. I'm watching the gold chart. We are having pretty wide spikes in there. Ahead of the news, it fell down to 11.60, $10 in a second, and then recovered. Not sure if we had a leak.
Nice spike.
Yeah, why? Less than 1 minute to go.
There's somebody asking, and what will be expected direction? Well, no, sorry, the expected direction for the OC after the US data. It depends on the outcome.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on the outcome.
Yeah, and what is any idea of which is the weakest pair in this trade? Can you say that the greenback has
Is
the
it
more
strong? It's among the
yeah,
strong.
strong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do believe that the commodity currencies are the one that weaker. Maybe New Zealand dollar weaker than Aussie, and indeed the yen is weaker today than the Swissy. But I'm not seeing clear weakness in any currency, to be honest.
Okay. Nice. Okay, here we are. There is in line
Down
of
0.2.
expectation.
As
Down
expected.
0.2. Yeah, as expected.
Better than previous, but minus 0.2%, which is really poor, really.
Yeah, so
Market is static.
we can say like a weak dollar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not really being reflected
Yeah.
in that except in gold.
Let's see.
Little market reaction to the news.
Actually, nothing.
No reaction.
No
Yeah.
reaction. Yeah, GDP price index down 0.1. Yeah, it's weak than expected. The expectation was plus 0.1.
Pretty much everything met expectations.
Let's see what people are saying.
Right? Back to Greece we go.
Yeah, back to Greece.
I was thinking that Greece was the beginning of civilization, pretty much, of culture and education. Uh, how can it have ended in this place right now? I can't understand, but I'm thinking about that today.
So officially, the United States contracted
Yeah,
0.2 the first quarter.
yeah.
QE5 starts in the fall.
What? Sorry?
The next QE program instead of an interest rate hike.
You still believe the U.S. will do additional quantitative easing? Really?
Yeah, when the S&Ps are 1,500.
I don't know. I believe that most of what these politicians have to do or do is in fact related to credibility, right? And
Well,
that's why,
they've moved the goalposts so many times already, Val. Full
yeah,
employment, and they talk about, there's always something else that could be better.
yeah,
I mean, if you looked at 2 years ago where the employment numbers would be now, wouldn't you think they would have moved based upon what they said a year ago?
yeah, you're right in that.
All right, so I mean, if you move the goalposts, you never have to do it. And then if we have a stock market correction, they're certainly not going to tighten in the midst of that. So, actually, if we have a stock market correction, they're going to panic and come in with more stimulus, maybe even buy stocks. But of course, that can't happen. The market only goes up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't. What do I know? I'm just a blind squirrel in the middle of a snow-covered forest on a moonless night, looking for a nut. And I found one, Mauricio Carrillo. Well, if you were looking for action off the GDP number,
Yeah.
we can't control the markets.
Yeah, usually the first one is the one that actually give us more
I
action.
mean, the only good candle was the XAU, the gold.
Yeah, and it was a 5
See?
milliseconds spike.
Yeah.
In fact, there were two spikes lower.
Yeah.
Not sure if something else is waiting in there.
We have a great guest in LAR today. You guys ever hear of the Christian Science Monitor? It's a well-established periodical that's been here in the United States for a long time, and we have Fred Weir, who has extensive background on the Kremlin and Russia, all things Russia, and Russia's kind of off the front news here in the U.S. I don't know about where you guys are. Mainly what we're seeing here in the U.S. is either a police shooting that's racially motivated, or an ISIS wannabes shooting somebody, or racists going into a church and taking people out.
Yeah.
But I still think that the geo risk in Russia is real. My belief is if Putin is going to do anything, his time is starting to wind down. I think it's going to have to be before the next U.S. presidential cycle. One of the reasons he may do it is he's seen how the U.S. draws red lines and then they disappear. So I think it could be an interesting summer and fall geopolitically in the Ukraine. In fact, we're coming back with sending Secretary of Defense to Moldova. We're bringing in arms to Baltic states. So, that's how it starts, a tit for a tat. So when Putin gets upset about us bringing in arms, and he starts talking about updated nukes, even though they weren't updated ones. So keep your eye on the Russian bear, and we're going to be talking about the Russian bear today. Yeah, I think someone in the room, Val and Mauricio, said that I didn't hear it when I watched Martin Armstrong's movie, but I know he has this date for October 2015, and someone said in the room that's when Martin Armstrong expects the beginning of World War III this October.
Well, we should understand what will be the World War III, because the world has changed. Maybe it's not with guns, but maybe actually it's just economics, and we are in an economic war. So,
well, you know what, Mauricio, I wish it was that way, but if you look at history, all hot wars began as economic, financial wars.
I was thinking about the same. Yeah, it starts like that, but nonsense.
I mean, Japan decided to hit us. We had an oil embargo against Japan, right? Germany's rise to power happened after years after their currency became worthless, and then the Depression of 1930. So, a lot of wars, the catalysts are economic reasons. And I hope you're right, Mauricio, because, could interrupt my football season this fall.
Yeah.
I'd rather be watching college football instead of, hearing about the possibility of mushroom clouds. So
we only have to think about living
I hope Martin's wrong. That's all I can say. I hope he's wrong.
Yeah, well, we hope he's wrong, but the evidence is there. But the thing is that I do believe maybe it won't be like like the past. It will be a little bit different. It will be a break, of course, I think.
Yeah.
But not that break. Not the break, but
Bless you.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry.
Bless you, man.
Bless you. Mom.
So now the dollar's gaining a little momentum here.
Yeah, euro dollar is just below
the greenback
12
is
right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking that one of the good things, sort of, living in the third world is that this kind of words that you're talking about will affect us less than maybe you will in the north hemisphere of the world.
But if you are in Argentina,
Yeah. So,
maybe. So, okay. Well, the
remains of the
pound
world.
dollar.
Pound sitting right on that moving average here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice call, Val.
I know. Yeah. I'm not seeing any headlines behind these movements. Seems that the dollar is really not high. The euro has a sort of support of around 11.80. Short-term one, so if we take it, we can go to test yesterday's lows and my 11.20.
Well, I'm reading the GDP release, and it said the real export of goods and services decreased 5.9% in the first quarter. It's a really
Yeah, but there was high
high.
consumer spending in the GDP reading, so that is what seems to be dollar supported.
Yeah.
It was spending that helped that upward revision. I don't know. I do believe that they draw the numbers. That's I don't know. I'm like the yellow blind squirrel.
Yeah, me too. I'm not even a scorer. I'm nothing.
You're lying.
No way. Well, I what from Madagascar, the movie.
Do we have more data coming in the US later? Yeah, just oil stocks. So
Yeah,
nothing
oil is a 5-year note.
that may affect gold and oil, of course, and CAD, but not much more. Okay, guys.
The stocks continues to sign a little open, a negative open. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so not very much here.
Just a reminder, NFP is next Thursday because U.S. is closed on Friday, so we'll be covering the NFP.
Yeah.
I guarantee you more action on the NFP next week.
I hope so, really. I was thinking that I want to take the Friday off, and it's non-farm payrolls Friday, and then I came so happy with this news that it will be on Thursday.
Yeah. 3-day weekend, yes.
It's given me a long weekend also.
I don't think we're going to have summer doldrums all summer, you know, that are like usual. I guess it's possible.
I hope we don't, really.
You know, actually, we could have larger moves because volume thins out. It doesn't take as much money to move markets around. Sometimes you have very major moves when no one's around to play.
That's been so nice activity we're having. No, I don't want it.
Dow not getting any lift on the strong dollar move. Not yet. Looks like the yen wants to challenge the Fed high. Another 50 pips away.
I'm getting cold. I'm not happy.
So,
Okay, I do believe that we are not going to see much about this. What do you think, guys?
not much.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the pound, the pound dollar is testing the 200 hours moving average. Yeah, maybe this is a key point there, but you know, nothing here. Pretty quiet market.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get Donald Trump to come talk to us in March.
Oh, okay. I won't miss that one.
Mauricio's
Maybe
Donald
it
Trump.
will choose you as vice president. Vice president.
All I could say is be afraid. Be very afraid. The apprentice. I could be his apprentice. I'll show him how to fix his hair. He's got to let it go silver like me. You really think that Donald Trump has blonde hair still? Only his hairdresser knows for sure.
Yeah.
Pretty arrogant guy. I don't need any lobbyists. I'm rich. I have $8 billion. I could buy this presidency. Let's see. Who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, indeed. Everywhere you have to come here and try a bit of. Okay. Dollar is really gaining ground right now.
There goes Aussie. Gold's given up some of its gains.
Gold is.
Canada rallying out of the hole. Yen looks like he wants to push up there. So good call, Alienovich, for some dollar strength to continue and bid levels that haven't been achieved in the pound and the euro that they will be. So I'll tell you, it's great to have an extraterrestrial in the house, don't you think, Val?
Yeah.
Alienovich.
It was my daughter.
Take me to your leader.
Take me to your leader, Alien.
Yeah, my daughter
In
was.
fact, you know, with Alien being here and a quiet market, we could have a movie, The Day the Market Stood Still. Because there was a movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still. So for the GDP, we could have The Day the Markets Stood Still. You know, Val, when I was a commodity broker and I'd be talking about a trade and a scenario that I saw was pretty imminent,
Yeah.
and my prospect would either say, well, you know, I'm going to talk to my wife about it, or I need to talk to my accountant about it, or let me think about it. I would say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the floor of the exchange and have them halt trading until you make up your mind. And you know what people would say? Oh, no, Dale, you don't have to do that. They thought I could do that. Is that funny?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I'll behave.
It's okay.
You know, you get up at 3 in the morning, you're a little punchy. So here we go. Dollar rally. Maybe it continues into early next week.
Until non-farm payments.
For 1 more week, I see. We have jobless claims tomorrow. PCE.
We have a very special guest tomorrow in LAR. Valeria Bednarik, Chief Strategist at FX Street, will be with us in LAR tomorrow.
The Forex Queen.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And a little tail in the pound.
What? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Little tail, higher low from early morning low.
Higher low. So, well, can you make us a short approach of what's going on in Greece, the latest development?
Me?
Yeah, if you have, I know you know everything about Greece. So
yeah, well, pretty much nothing is going on, right? We have there is a government for already 5 months in there, and the 5 months had been a hard negotiations, and we are still at square one. Over the weekend, Greece presented a fresh proposal. Today, the rest of the creditors rejected the proposal, sent a new one, revision. Greece has now rejected that one. Germany is saying that the deal without the IMF is unthinkable, and the IMF wants to collect as late as June 30, right? 1.6 billion euros, I do believe, it has to collect in case. I don't know. And Europe as the union, I mean, does not want to lose its credibility, its union, something that will happen if Greece gets into default or leaves the area. So Europe is doing all it can to keep it inside. But Greece, as we were saying earlier today, is fed up of austerity measures and won't accept them. And the IMF is playing a full role in there. It wants to collect and does not care what else happens. If Europe loses its credibility, if Greek people is happy. So it's a pretty messy scenario. I can't forecast what will happen there, but if we don't get a deal by June 30, I believe we're going to see a chaos, a big one in market, in Europe and in Europe itself.
yeah, I understand. People cannot be in like a yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, always.
Yeah, the deadline for me is June 30, which, by the way, is my birthday. So I will get a great present from market.
I see.
Okay, I do believe I have to go.
Well, actually, I will ask you, Val, if you don't mind, I will ask you just another approach of what happened with this GDP and what will happen in the next few hours and the next day.
Well,
1 minute.
yeah, no problem.
Okay.
We had latest revision of the first quarter US GDP, and it resulted that the economy shrunk less than I firstly believed, but it still shrunk 0.2% negative, which means that the US is still struggling to recover, right? I know the Fed has warned us several times about the winter issues and not waiting on the market, but the truth is that it's not just winter right? It's not just the weather. We had yesterday a weak, durable good orders number. The only sector that seems to be improving strongly right now is the housing sector, right? And the market is still not convinced the Fed will move, uh, or not even stocks are rallying on negative news, because the market is really needing right now positive figures from the US. And as we were just saying, payrolls next week, of course, we got a 100% of retention. Nevertheless, the greenback seems going higher across the board. It's on demand. The market is fed up also with the rig issue, but overall the picture seems positive for the greenback at these levels after the early week run and the small corrections we have witnessed so far today. Right, we have to expect further dollar gains if we take the levels we have been discussing, right?
Okay. Okay, thank you, everybody. Well, so we
Okay.
are going to finish this live coverage. Thank you, Valeria, and thank you, Dale. And
You're welcome.
just invite everybody to the live analysis room. What we do in the live analysis room, Dale?
Go. See
Well,
you. Bye bye, guys.
Okay,
all
thank
right,
you.
Val. You have a
Ciao.
nice. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Val.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay.
Bye
Enjoy
bye.
the day.
Bye. So,
Mauricio,
Dale,
it's
what
a very,
what we
very
doing?
unique community. Most trading rooms, your moderator is the guy who, talks about the market all during the session, and people just follow him around. And Lar, we have a lot of very good traders. We share ideas through screenshots, and I call it a mastermind because it's the collective consciousness of everyone coming together and showing their ideas. I love screenshots because a picture speaks 1,000 words, and we get lots of great pictures. We have Rembrandts and Picassos and elite technicians that come into LAR every day to help others, sharing their knowledge that probably cost them several digits and lots of anguish before they became effective in the market. So I consider it a community where we're all there to build up each other every day. So was the mission in LAR. We're over 2 years into it, and the mission goes on. And there have been many people that have been helped by spending time here with us. I'm grateful to have a sponsor like FX Pro supporting it. And I tell people, because LAR is free, that if you want to support LAR, the way to do that is to support FX Pro if you're a non-US resident and establish an account with them. So also I bring in a guest speaker almost every day. Every once in a while there's a cancellation, but I bring in some of the best experts in trading, geopoliticians that have an area of interest. We're going to be talking about Russia today with Fred Ware from the Christian Science Monitor. And the guests, could go down the line. How many people have I interviewed in the last couple of years, Mauricio? 250, 300. A lot of them have brought great actionable trading ideas to the table too. So LAR is the best thing I've ever been involved in. That's what it is.
Yeah, the LAR is awesome. Every time everybody is sharing charts, ideas, strategies.
Yeah.
We are building every each other.
Yeah, there have been many days, buddy. I've walked in, I haven't known what to do. And then the ideas start flowing from the room. And then I see what they're talking about. And if it lines up with my work, all of a sudden I have actionable ideas that I would not have had if I had just been sitting there on my own without being part of a community. It's an edge.
Okay, Dave. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, buddy.
I will let you
see everyone in the room.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, thank you for being with us. See you in the live analysis room. I am just typing the link, the live analysis room link in the chat room. Thank you very much for being with us. Please, and good hunting. Bye-bye.